Hello and welcome back. It's Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and things are getting complicated. We're going to have a Macaria Sailor impression, which is one of my favorite things in role-playing games when a person is playing a character who is pretending to be someone else. We just keep nesting it down. I can't wait to see Macaria's pirate impression. So...
Yarg.
So let's start there. We can cut back and forth, but let's start with the we begin our scene. We set our scene outside the repulsive Gooseberry Inn.
No. I have several things to do first.
What? You have more things to do? All right, what are you gonna do?
I want to cast our augury as a ritual.
Okay.
And ask Merkel about my course of action.
All right. Okay. All right. You want to do some cleric preparation?
Yes.
Well, since you're so wise, I'll allow it.
Thank you.
Augury is the spell you're gonna cast?
Yes.
All right.
Wheel for good results, woe for bad. Wheel and woe for both good and bad, and nothing for like.
What is the specific course of action you plan to take in the next 30 minutes?
Well, maybe it's like outside in like an alley or something. But, like,
so you're gonna spend 10 minutes in an alley casting gem inlaid sticks, rolling dragon bones, or employing some other divining tool?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So Rin, Macaria drags you into an alley behind the repulsive gooseberry.
Jewel.
Yeah, Jewel's going with you. That's right. So Jewel, you and Macaria are in the alley behind the repulsive gooseberry, and Macaria takes out a satchel of bones, which she begins to shake and like throw on the ground.
I mean, I could cast it as a regular spell too, but like I feel like we have 10 minutes to stand in an alley. Nobody cares.
So, okay, are you casting it as a ritual? You need 10 uninterrupted minutes to do that?
I mean, Jewel, are you willing to like have me back, or you're like, no, we've got to do this fast?
I think Jewel just sort of rolls her eyes and like takes her position at the front of the alleyway and like looks menacing at anybody who walks past. Ignore this strange person playing with bones behind me.
Okay. All right, so you are going to cast it as a ritual, Macaria?
Yes, I would rather.
All right. So you begin casting it, and Jewel, as they walk by, a pair of salty sea dogs stop, having noticed Macaria in the alley, and they turn, and they look, and one of them says, oh, you got a game going on back there. And he tries to get past you.
It's not the sort of game you want to play.
Oh, no, I've played Bones many a time before, though never in Waterdeep, and I've got a full pouch to play with. Come on, let us by. And his friend's like, hey, yeah, let us through. Come on, we want to gamble.
Just take their money.
Jewel's like, she really wants to take their money.
Oh, yeah. Heck, like, I don't fucking care. Do it. I'll ask for them like after.
10 gold pieces buy-in.
And they look at each other and like, 10 gold. It's a pretty rich game. Make a persuasion check.
The Lord.
If the ritual is interrupted, then I can just cast it as a regular spell too, right?
The Lord of Bones does not play for coppers.
Yeah, right.
Yes. I love you.
This is her persuasion check.
Okay. All right. Nice. All right.
14.
So yeah, they take out their pouch and they hand you the gold. They hand you 20 gold. And one of them, while he's taking the coins out, he's like, so what are the rules? Is it Dwarven Hold'em, Flipsy Flopsy? How are we doing this?
Jewel turns around to Macaria, now 20 gold pieces richer.
I think I'm just like...
Oh, no, you're in the middle of the spell. You don't even like notice this shit. Yeah. You're like chanting and...
Yeah.
It's... You. This one is you have to bet on whether or not her god will tell her.
It's like wheel or woe.
It's wheel and woe. Okay. She's watched Macaria do this. And
right,
so
make
up this game. She's like, she's going to cast the runes, and you have to decide whether or not it's going to be wheel or woe.
Make a deception check.
Yeah, it's like roulette. It's black or red.
Yeah, it's a real simple game.
Boom.
21.
Okay. So neither of them have ever heard of this because you just made it up. But one of them is like, oh yeah. Oh, I've played this one before. We played it on the boat to the moon chaise. And the other one's like, oh yeah, yes, I've played it more than twice. Let's get out of the way, cat. And they push past and they come in and Macaria, you feel a hand on your shoulder, and you hear some salty dogs be like, right, cut us in. Here we go. Let's do it. We paid our fee. Can you make a concentration check?
Yeah, that'd be Constitution.
Yeah, it's con check, DC 10. Okay.
22.
All right. So
They don't distract me from my god. I'm calling Merkel up.
So one of them like he's like, "Hey, did you not hear us? We paid the fee." And he starts shaking you like, "Come on, girly, like get up."
No, she's playing the game. She's going to cast the bones. You decide whichever one. If you're correct, you get to take your 20 gold pieces. If you're wrong, then we take your 20 gold pieces. It's a very simple game.
And he's like, "Wait, but if we win,
What?
if we win, we get more gold than we gave you. That's how gambling works."
But you both can't pick the same answer, so only one of you can win.
But then if they win, they get 40 gold, right? Not just my 10 gold for him.
I don't understand why you're so confused about this game. Here, you can just take it back. She just hands it back.
And he puts his hands up. He's like, "Oh, no, the wager's been made. But I just want to be clear. We're going to get out of this with some gold if we win."
Oh yeah.
Well, whichever one of you wins, yeah.
Right,
But
and we win 40 gold.
We'll play it the easy way. You both pick the same thing, and then yes, you'll get 40 gold if you're correct.
And they look at each other and like,
She'll gamble, she'll pay.
yeah, and they're like, "All right, I think we can do that." And they watch, and they're watching Makaria like.
Do they
this
decide which
ritual.
wheel or woe?
Well,
And
hang
she's
on.
like, which one?
So I'm
Wheel
gonna
or
roll. Let me find out. I think I've got a random pirate stat block in here, maybe somewhere. I gotta see I gotta make a religion check. No, that's a background.
You've told them to do wheel or woe. Inevitably, whatever Makaria asks here is going to be so vague. It's just going to be a non-answer.
Right.
Like,
It's
every
it's a
time
very
Or a
popular.
both answer.
It's a very popular game in the Forgotten Realms. It's wheel or whoa. All right, so I'm gonna make a religion check. Religion's based on
Yeah, the other part is
Religion
Wisdom,
would
right?
be
it's
R, intelligence.
It's an intelligence.
the worst
Okay.
idea she's ever had, and Jules had a lot of bad ideas.
Okay.
Yeah, if it comes up both, you get half a car. As
Okay.
soon as you-
They're like they have no idea
don't realize
what
that
god.
augury.
Yeah. I mean, they see you performing this weird ritual. And they're just kind of like, okay, interesting. Let's go.
But we've convinced them it's a game.
They think it's a game. Yep.
So pick one.
So they
Wheel
know
or
how they
woe.
would. They know how they would answer DMX if he asked. And they after about 3 or 4 minutes, they look at you, Jewel, and they're like, "Does it usually take this long?"
It normally takes about 10 minutes, yeah.
That explains the buy-in. You see, you can't run that many games. Interesting. And so they just watch as Makaria flops around doing her thing.
And just like it's
It's just,
verbal,
like, speaking
thematic, and
numbers.
material. So it's just like I'm muttering in like,
Well, it's
I don't
not
know.
muttering. You have to talk like in a loud voice, and it's like you're praising Merkel and like begging for his attention and like.
Yeah, it's great.
And are you in your pirate costume already,
I'm
or?
probably in the costume, but not the makeup.
So while this is happening quietly, one of them, so as not to interrupt, says to you, Jewel, so where did you learn this game from exactly?
Lord of Bone.
The Lord of Bones.
So
One of the
that
best known gamblers.
so when you say the Lord of Bones, he's like, "Oh yes, I've been there. That's that casino in
Yeah, they're really good at gambling there.
The captain of my last ship, he was a high roller at the Lord of Bones. And the two of them,
Those backroom games they liked to play. It's high stakes because, you have a 50% chance or more of losing.
the smaller of the two pirates nudges his friend, and he's like, "Oh, we know all about backroom games, don't we?" And the big one's like, "Stop bothering me!" Like pushes him away, and it's like, "I'm paying attention." And so the two of them, they take it very seriously, both for each other, right? Where they're just looking at each other like, "Yeah, I know what's going on. I'm an expert.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
sure."
You can pick wheel or woe, and if it comes up as one of those, then you get 40 gold, I guess.
And he nods, and then he says,
Jules like it's gonna come up, but not if it comes up as both.
You can't.
And
Don't
you
reveal
can't bet
that.
on both. It's like roulette. It's like this one game where they spin in a circle, and you can't bet on green. You can only bet on black or red. It's very strange. And she like starts explaining other gambling
Yeah.
games. She's like, and this is this one with cards.
"Yeah, roulette. It's the smaller version of rule." So the two of them, they debate which one they're going to choose. Makaria, what question are you asking? What are you asking about?
So it's the results of a specific course of action. That course of action being handing off this fake dragon scale to the Castellanter's agent.
Okay. All right. So if you give the fake dragon scale to the Castellanters, will it be wheel, woe?
Both or neither.
Both or neither. Okay. All right.
So Jewel is like just trying to make up all the rules as they're playing.
Yeah.
It's turned into an improv game for her, apparently.
Yeah, totally. And then if it comes up banana, well, you have to put the purple shoe on your head. Now, if it comes up pomegranate, well, that's a whole other situation.
Wheel, woe, or both, or nothing, right?
Right.
Yeah. It depends on how often you've seen Makaria do this. She calls up Merkel a lot.
Yeah, I think she's
and the results are very often just nothing.
So if it comes up wheel and woe, can we split it and then do two different side bets and then do two more hands of...
Yeah, if it's wheel and woe, you just break even.
Right.
You don't get more from the house. You just get your money back. If it's nothing, then the house wins.
Okay, all right. This is a weird game. It's like roll a d4 and see what
literally
happens.
is roll. Have you played with a dreidel before?
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is. Spin the dreidel. You might get nothing. You might get all.
So they confer for a moment in the last minutes of the spell, and they're planning. So Makaria, you finish consulting with Merkel. The omen that you cast, the bones align in a positive omen for you, that there will be good there will be good results. I'm gonna just flip a coin to see what they decide. Bet. So 1 is wheel, 2 is woe.
Okay, is Jewel gonna lose some money? I know.
Okay, so they're like we're feeling positive today. We're gonna go with wheel. And so Makaria, you finish the ritual. It's clear that Makaria is done.
I'm also like yes.
And then Makaria, you realize that there are two like salty sailors in the alley with you, like staring at you. And you turn around, and one of them is like, "Well, girl, which is it?"
Who are these people?
Oh, they are gambling. You know, we're playing the game taught to you by the Lord of Bones, which is that they said it would be a good outcome. And if they are correct, that's what it is, then they will get twice as much money.
So you are also followers of the Lord of Bones.
Then
and they look at each other, and one of them's like, I've been there before.
So they said it would be a good outcome if it wasn't. Jules like, you get to practice lying right now.
I was about to say, guess what? You get to do what priests have been doing since the beginning of time. You ask the gods for a result, and you just make up whatever you want and tell everybody that.
Right.
Listen,
So
God says you
be a
have to
good
give me
outcome.
40
And-
bucks. He can't talk to you himself, but like he told me to tell you.
If it was, they're going to get 20 gold each from me. Well, not each. They get 20 gold together from me. If it was a bad outcome, then we keep their 20 gold that they used to buy in.
Well, what did your little bones say?
Bad luck.
Make a deception check.
We were worried about you getting stabbed in an alley.
It bodes ill. Now,
Makaria.
all right, so let me see. I'll roll.
Even the plan yet.
I'm getting my bad rolls out of the way.
Jewel doesn't actually know what the results are.
Yeah, right. You're just lying to Jewel, and Jewel's just like, "Oh, that's a shame, boys." But let's see if they pick up on your lie.
I guess Jewel needs to pick up on the lie too.
Yeah, you can roll too. Yep. So it's insight.
Jewel knows.
Oh, I get it, but just barely.
Jewel knows.
Jewel knows for sure. So the two of them like look at you and they scowl, and one of them is like, "Don't you lie to me, girl. You two owe us some gold."
You can have your gold back. I'm sorry you didn't enjoy playing the game.
And the little one's like, "Nuh-uh, that's not what you said. We got it right, and she tried to lie to us."
Here. Apologies. It was a test. You've passed. So I will give you both your, what was that? You said that they get 20 extra.
That's right.
Yeah.
As long as you promise to devote your prayers to the Lord of Bones each night.
He shakes his head. He's like, no, that's not the deal. We've already got a religion, you see, and so you owe us gold.
You see, the Lord of Bones doesn't pay people who don't worship him.
He grabs you by the front of your pirate costume,
Don't
like
touch
yanks
me.
you up
you
off your
shouldn't
feet.
have done that. Jewel's like about
The other
to
one,
get the
yeah,
coins
the
out.
other one is reaching for a knife to keep you back, Jewel, so that you don't get involved.
Oh, so Jewel is about to get the coins out, and she's like, "I would suggest you put her down. I might." And then she's like, instead of reaching, she reaches for her rapier.
Right, everybody's reaching for weapons here. So, I mean, what are you doing? Are you going to try to defuse this, or you just want to fight him in the alley?
I don't think that I'm a diffused type of person.
Okay.
I would suggest you let her go. I will give you your gold, but I make no promises for what she'll do now that she's grabbed you.
No, he grabbed me.
Yeah,
Now that
he's
you grabbed
like
her.
picked her up. He just pulled her up off the
Let
ground.
me down.
And he says, as soon as we get our gold. And the other one, the little guy with the knife, puts a hand out. Jewel, like, come on, give us the gold you owe us.
She hands him his 20 and says, "Let her go, and I'll give you the other 20."
Give me the other 20 and we'll let her go.
That's not.
I cast inflict wounds.
So you want to make this a fight?
Yes.
Okay, all right,
Jewel knows this.
fine. We'll just roll initiative.
I'm sorry.
Fine.
I can't help myself.
I know. It's beautiful.
All right, okay. So let me
They decided to gamble with a cleric of Merkel in the alley.
let me grab your. Listen, they didn't decide to do anything. They just wanted to get involved. You could have been like, nothing to see here. Go away.
It was a fun time.
Like,
I
if
don't
I'm gonna
know.
blame anybody for
They
this,
pushed
I'm gonna blame Jewel.
Look, at the end of the day here, you're going to kill them. You're going to have 20 gold and 2 more corpses to put in the bank.
Yeah,
Technically, murdering someone in the
that's
alley
a
is illegal.
win-win. All right.
Okay, all right. So I've added some tokens over on the far side of
Okay.
of Waterdeep here. Go ahead and roll yourself some
Where
initiative.
am I? Where?
Here, I'm gonna.
My 18 initiative.
Okay.
Oh, there I am.
I'll re-add yours. Okay, so Jewel got 18.
I insisted on playing. Jewel thought it was
Can
fun.
do I get to take the action first
No,
before?
no. It's the beginning of it. It's clearly a fight. You start chanting.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me roll initiative for these guys. Okay. All right. So Jewel, you are first. Assume that the alley is like, I don't know, 5 feet wide and like, you know, you can go in either direction. You're maybe 20 feet from the entrance, but you have to like squeeze past each other. Actually, maybe it's 10 feet wide. But yeah, there's not a lot of room back
So there's
here.
enough space for the two people to fight.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's actually probably more like that in the alley. Okay. So anyway, Jewel, what do you want to do?
You see that I'm like chanting and shit, right?
Well, your eyes start to glow and you're
Yeah.
doing the thing.
I'm just double checking something. Oh, cool. Yeah, no, this is perfect for sneak attack. Jewel's like sort of sighing because she was reaching and she was about to get her other coins, and she's like, she's gonna kill you. Don't let her go, and I will.
Oh
give
no,
you her
stop.
20
I can't stop her when she's like this.
I can't. It's Macaria.
I can't stop
Oh
her.
no,
when she's
don't
like,
do it.
Oh no.
Oh no.
If Ren were here, we wouldn't have done this.
Mhm.
So
What
I.
happens when I leave the children?
Unfortunately,
That's
the
right.
problem is I know that I think Jewel knows that Macaria is gonna like murder first, and she's like, Macaria, let's not cause trouble. And she's gonna reach in and she's gonna be like, she's gonna do the persuasion on Macaria, like, Macaria,
Nice.
we are busy. You did your thing. Here's their gold. Don't kill them.
Sure.
Okay, what's the difficulty on this roll, Macaria?
Tell me.
To persuade?
Yeah, to persuade you not to murder these thugs.
Oh, but I love murdering.
I know.
So it's probably hard.
Yeah.
So not murdering people would be wisdom, right?
What?
Maybe intelligence. Just for knowing
Intelligence?
that it's against the law.
No, I mean,
Okay.
I'm just asking you to set a difficulty. It doesn't matter how
I'm just trying
smart
to
you
figure
are.
out. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like what like anyway, if it's intelligence, don't just murder people. It's against the law.
Well, I mean, the chance that the city guard
That's
will
what
get
the
called
difference in
in
being a
and that
15.
you'll be delayed and then they'll take you to the jail to like, figure out who you are and like all this stuff. Like
And then
technically
the whole plan will be
technically you could get away with it by being like, well, they attacked us, they have weapons, whatever, but there'd be a big delay while you deal with the legal system.
Right. Let's just say 12 again.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sacking my stab.
Nope.
Jules not saying it with a lot of conviction.
Nope.
Okay. So Makaria, that would mean that it is your turn then.
Rad.
You want to cast Inflict Wounds?
Heck yeah, I do.
Okay. You reach out and touch someone
I reach out and touch Faith, man.
and roll damage.
Oh god. Why are you casting at a higher level?
I'm mad. I like the idea of being able to kill him with one punch.
You don't.
Oh,
You do
Well, I
not kill
tried.
him with one strike, but you wound him terribly. So you reach out and like, is this like a slap? And you grab him in the face? Like he's holding you by
he's
the.
holding me by
Yeah,
like what?
you're not
what?
grappled, but he's holding your big fancy pirate collar.
I think that like I grab his arm where it touches me,
Yeah.
and then like it's the whole like
Crackling green necrotic energy.
crackling green necrotic energy, like blood leaking out his eyes and ears and
Okay.
mouth.
Eyes put her gold away.
Yeah. So he shouts in surprise, like like grabs his arm, pulls back. Do you want to do anything else with your move or your bonus action?
I said, "Don't touch me."
Okay, so just talk to
That's it.
him.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, they attack you. They have
Good.
weapons. They actually have clubs, not knives. So they draw their clubs and they start attacking. They start fighting you. Now fighting for their lives. So Makaria, the first one, the one that you grabbed, he takes 2 attacks at you. They both have advantage.
Cool.
You have more than 29 hit points. This is annoying.
Okay, so you take 5
You have
damage.
more hit points than I do.
You take-
Okay.
And then another swing
That's
for
not
another
really
6.
touching me. I said, "Don't touch me." That's touching me.
And he's just like he's like, she's a witch, kill her, and he like swings at you, starts hitting you with his club.
She's a witch, really?
That's
Yeah.
what they got. Yeah.
Listen, they're from a very superstitious island nation where calling people a witch is a real
I'm
thing.
just thinking about the wealth of magic in the Forgotten Realms.
Oh, not
Like,
these guys.
like,
No, but remember,
"She's a witch!"
there's a
Ah!
difference. There's a difference, right? Like a witch is she's a spellcasting lady I don't like versus like she's a wizard, right? It means more than one thing. And then Makaria, the other one, just starts like drubbing on you too.
What jerks?
He hits you for 7,
7. Okay, math is hard.
and
I
then
super
another
love
3.
these. I super love
They're
these.
Oh, so
rolling
just
well.
10.
Yeah. So Jewel, the two of them just start wailing on Makaria. Who, because she's in her pirate costume, isn't wearing her armor, so they're just like pummeling her with clubs.
It's not like my armor is actually that good anyway.
It's your turn, Jewel. What would you like to do?
Jewel rolls her eyes and she's like, "You did this on purpose, Merkel." Takes out her rapier.
Probably, actually, yes. I mean, I act in
Uh,
Merkel's name.
Actually,
Right.
she has her short. She has a short sword now. She bought one of those, so she
Mhm.
has her short sword in one hand, offhand dagger.
Okay.
And she's going to because I have sneak
Stab,
attack,
stab.
so I'm gonna stab the one that Makaria was touching her.
Yeah,
with
don't
the
touch
short
me.
sword. So let's just see if I can do some damage, please and thank you.
Makaria, you actually
Oh
took,
yeah,
you actually
I
took
noticed
2 more.
he
You got
did
it. Okay.
So just 2 more.
15. Yeah. Which one are you attacking? Jewel?
The one that
Makaria.
attacked Makaria.
Yes. I mean, they're both attacking Makaria,
Well,
but
sorry,
the one
that-
Makaria hurt.
that
Yeah.
Makaria hurt.
Sure. Yes. 15 is sufficient.
Cool for 15.
All right, he dies. You stab him in the side, and he grabs his ribs, and he looks at you like he's just like, all I wanted to do was gamble some of my money away. Why?
He did
And he,
gamble with his life.
and he-
Ah, I told you to let her go. She says, and then she turns to the other one and she's like, "I told you to let her go."
and that one with his club, he looks and he sees his friend like die. This is the little guy still alive, and he's like, Jeremy, no! And he like turns with his club on you, like, how dare you? And then you can
bonus
attack
action,
him.
I'm going to stab him with the
Okay.
dagger, which doesn't do a whole lot.
Sure, but it's still, you know. a
It
stab.
still feels good.
Okay, yeah, you hit him.
13
Mm-hmm.
for. Oh, ignore the sneak attack,
Okay.
but for 3 damage.
For 3? Okay. All right, Makaria, it is your turn.
Jerk faces.
Yes, they're the jerks.
Let's see.
Feels good to Lauren. I don't know if it feels good to Jewel.
Right.
I will toll the dead on that fellow.
Okay, all right.
DC 14 wisdom save. For the 7, it would be.
Okay, he takes 7 damage.
Okay. And there's like the sound of bells, which is probably just attracting more attention. It's good.
This is certainly not the only alley fight currently happening in the dock ward.
Okay, all right.
It's the only one with
7
others in it.
So, so the thug, he no longer has advantage, and he's gonna attack Makaria, spellcasting maniac. So he takes first attack on Makaria. It's a 6.
Thankfully, does not hit. I'm not
So he
that
swings
bad.
again, hits you for 7.
Math. God, I'm so bad at math. Okay.
You can just do it on your token. You can just minus.
Oh well, I mathed.
Okay. All right. So he just hits you in the side of the head with the club, and your head spins, and your vision blurs.
I'll be an even more convincing sailor now. 'Cause I'm
Jewel, it's your turn.
My friend. Conveniently, I think the sneak attack still works, right? Because
I'm
another.
here.
Yeah, Makaria's up there.
Yep. I always forget because I have the fancy footwork and stuff too. So I'm gonna stab him
Okay.
with the short sword.
Okay.
We're gonna do it, hopefully.
You do not.
Oh damn it!
He
Bonus
parries.
action, I'm gonna stab him with the dagger.
He parries the sword. Okay. Yeah, you hit him.
Cool. And this one does have the sneak attack damage, so
8. Oh.
Okay.
8 damage.
All right. Makaria, it's your turn.
I'm just like I think I'm just gonna toll the dead again, but I like point at him and said, "You gambled with your life and you lost." And
Except they didn't. You're just a bunch of assholes.
fine, it's fine.
All right.
Fine.
So wisdom save.
Another wisdom save.
Okay. He gets a 4.
Necrotic damage.
Okay. He's still going. He's just
Oh
fighting.
man, I'm going down.
He's
Bye.
fighting, and he's just like, there's tears streaming from his face, and he takes a swing at Makaria,
Please fail.
and he gets a 12, and he
No,
hits you for 4.
that hits. I'm down, I think.
Okay, so he hits Makaria. Makaria's head hits the alley wall and tumbles to the floor. And
This is the perfect way for this to go.
and
I'm
he,
so happy.
he does it, and as Makaria goes down, he shouts, "That was for Jeremy!" And he takes a second swing at Jewel, and he hits you for 5.
Oh, this is so
I
funny.
swear to God, if you guys get punked by 2 like fucking dock workers.
Jewel, it's your turn.
Oh.
Conveniently, I have rakish audacity, so I can still use sneak attack
Mhm.
because I'm within 5 feet of no other creatures.
Excellent.
Thanks, unconscious.
Yeah, like the thug is like face down on the ground, and then Makaria's on top of him.
It's just a pile of thugs, man.
Have at ye. Dunk, you hit the
Oh my
wall.
fucking God.
she flails. She looks at the dagger.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll your
She keeps
damage.
forgetting she has that second one. This is the worst sneak attack
So
damage.
it's so bad. You kill him though. So you stab him in the neck. He parries the first blow. You stab him in the neck, and he falls down on top of Makaria. So this is like sandwich. This is Makaria sandwich
Makaria
on the
sandwich.
No,
ground.
see, if this was like a game like Assassin's Creed, I would run away and come back a few minutes later. But she knows Makaria's
Yeah.
unconscious.
I'm fine.
Yeah. Do you
don't
want to, Jewel? Do you want to make a medicine check to make
I
sure
will
Makaria doesn't
try.
die? Okay.
I'm not good at this.
Okay. All right. Make another save, Makaria.
Is a 10 a success? Oh, I die.
It is. No, you don't die.
Fuck.
That's just 2. That's
No.
2 fails.
Oh, please
Oh
don't.
my God, you could actually die here. It
Come on,
could
guys.
happen.
That was
Yeah, it could.
okay.
No,
you didn't.
you're fine. You're stable. Within an inch of your life. So Jewel, you're like literally, Makaria's lying on her back. There's like blood dripping from her nose. She's staring like unconscious up at the sky, and you're like giving her CPR. You're like pumping her chest and like, live, damn it, and like
That was so
trying to get her
fucking
heart
close.
started. And you look up while you're doing this, like in your panic, like trying to get her to like start breathing again. You look up, and at the dark end of the alley, you see a cloaked figure. You see a figure wearing like a long gray tattered cloak with the face of a skull leaning on a scythe, staring at you down the...
Points at him. She's like, you did this.
staring at you down the alley. And when Makaria, like she takes a deep breath, she like shudders, like takes a deep breath, the hooded, like the skull-faced figure just lifts a bony hand to his mouth to you, Jewel, and it's like, and like fades away. So Makaria, you wake up with a terrible headache. Jewel is on top of you, and the alley smells of blood.
Jewel has definitely dragged the like bodies while Makaria is waking up and like hidden them under a pile of trash in the
Hours,
alleyway.
right?
Yes, that's true. Sorry, she'll wake up in... Let's see.
Totally
You
fucked
roll.
the plan.
Blue Jay,
Like,
make a
you've
D4.
gone home.
Roll a D4.
I mean, you could always get like a thing.
Oh, yeah,
Okay, so
it's
three... Makaria will wake up in 3 hours.
Yeah, Jewel just shoulders her
She'll
and like
wake up-
takes her over her shoulder
She'll wake up in 3 hours, ready to party.
and like skulks out of the alleyway taking this. And every time someone passes her, and she's like, they had too much to drink. Just like heads back to Troll Skull Manor.
Like bleeding from
Hide
the
bodies in
head.
the alleyway.
Perfect. So meanwhile...
I'm really glad you guys got that golden scale, given to the dude.
Hey, yeah.
Really fucking helpful.
It's only 3 hours, okay? We can come
Yeah,
back.
it's not the whole day. You don't even have to leave.
Jewel definitely dumps Makaria like on the floor of the Troll Skull and just
No,
like
we don't have to
perches
go
on
back
stairs.
even. We just like
You can just go into the
slump me-
repulsive gooseberry if you want.
Yeah, you slump me on a table and just like pretend I'm really drunk for a while. Or you
She will
could
take
get,
you farther away from here though.
or you could get go to a shop and get a healing potion.
Just what, leave you lying in an alley?
How much money? How did the sailors have any more money?
Yeah,
How much money? I
Um,
just earned 20 gold.
Yeah, sure.
'Cause-
I think so.
Almost died. 20 gold.
They were pretty well off.
I mean, they had enough for 10 gold piece buy it each.
Yeah, let me see. Let's see. We'll never know the name of Jeremy's friend. He's dead now. Let's see here.
Jeremy and Steve.
Yeah, right. Just like, are they part of the Steve cult?
Yeah, of course.
What's
Always.
Jeremy and
The cult of many Steve.
Right,
Have you
Floon.
not heard of the dynamic duo from
Jeremy and
Jeremy
Flynn.
and Floon?
Oh, Floon and Big J. Okay, let's see. All right. Can you roll 2d10 for me?
I can.
Okay. You got a 3 and a 5. Okay. One of them had 17 gold, and the other had 12 gold.
And is that in addition to the 10?
That's in addition to the 10 that you already...
I'm so rich.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You can use the 50 gold to buy me a health potion.
I just got 49 gold.
Nice. So you're at a table in the repulsive gooseberry with Makaria face
I'm not gonna take her
face
in
down.
there.
That's what she wanted.
No, that's I think that's the plan.
Okay.
Jewel
Well,
will not take.
okay. So Jewel, where do you go to count? Where do you go to count your gold then?
She'll stay probably like Jewel knows that you don't stay near the scene of a crime for a while because that's a sure way to get associated with a crime that you just made.
Yeah.
So she'll probably take her like Makari's gonna be out for a while, so she'll probably take her back to Troll Skull.
Okay. All right. So
Like-
while all this is going on, all these shenanigans, Rin, you make your way past Castle Enter Villa, up Delzorin Street to the House of Inspired Hands.
Indeed.
What do you do when you get there?
I mean, I'm looking for Valletta, right? That was her name?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
priestess?
Yeah, I think if you...
And I mean 8. I'm looking for 8, too.
Okay. So if you ask for Valletta, then you ask for an acolyte is like Valletta's not here. She's working on some big project off site.
She's probably working with my friend 8.
Oh, is that its name?
They are not an it, but where are they?
I told you, off site. I don't know myself.
Who would know? I need to find 8 immediately.
Well, you're going to have to wait. I'm sure Valletta will come back when she's done.
I don't have time to wait.
Well, that's unfortunate, isn't it?
Who would know these things? Someone in this temple will have some record of where she is, surely.
We don't keep track of where every single acolyte comes and
Really?
goes.
Your important projects off-site aren't recorded somewhere?
And he gives you a long look up and down. You're being awfully demanding for someone who's out of luck. You try being a little bit more polite.
Perhaps we got off on the wrong foot.
I should say so.
I'm just concerned for my friend, who is currently missing. He said he would be back today, and if your priestess, or whatever title they have here, is working on a project with them, I just want to confirm that they're fine. That's it. I am merely frustrated because of my concern.
I understand. Your automated companion is in good hands. You don't have anything to worry about. Valletta and her team are all consummate professionals. The thing is, some of our projects are more sensitive than others. Top clergy only, and the like. You're not going to find anyone around here who's like to tell you where she's gone. But the temple, we're people of our word, and if you expected your friend back, you'll get your friend back.
Yes, well, that's already not happened, so...
Sometimes these things take longer than you think. Projects get extensions, that sort of thing.
The issue is with timetable.
Yes, I imagine. But I assure you, if Valletta is keeping the subject, there's reason for it.
Can I insight this guy?
Yeah,
I just
sure.
want to make sure that he's telling the truth here.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, make an insight roll.
21?
Okay. Yeah, I mean he's not lying to you. He's just frustrated that you're not just yes, of course, I'll leave. Thanks. He's got better things to do than explain to you that he doesn't need to explain to you the things that you don't understand.
Yeah.
It's not that he's trying to hide something. He's just this is a need to know basis. You don't need to know. You're not a big deal. Go away, and your friend will come back eventually.
I need to figure out some other way to get this information. So I restate, are you sure that no one here would know where Valletta is? No one at all?
If she were working on something on the books, then probably, yes. But it's been made very clear that her research is of a higher priority. You're not going to find it in the records. You just don't have access. Frankly, I don't have access either. I tried to get on the team, and she said I wasn't the right discipline. Not the right discipline. Pff, I've been making automata since she was, still in an egg.
So you've been at this a long time, then?
I should say so, yes.
So where would you go if you had secret business?
And he raises a bushy eyebrow at you.
I'm just saying, if she's so not worth the secret research that she's getting her hands on, and you'd like to get your hands on it yourself, surely you have some idea where you'd go.
Make a persuasion check.
12.
He says, well, I mean, there's plenty of secure work being done here in the temple. And the fact that she left means that her work is cross-disciplinary. She needed assistance. Now, there has been some rumor going around that she's got a a wizard of some renown helping her with this. Something about extraplanar research. I thought it was just the automated man, but well, maybe there's more to it than that. Do you know something you're not telling me?
Well, I know that he's from very far away. Or they are from very far away.
And he squints and he says, how far away?
I couldn't tell you the details. I wish I knew them myself. But so you're saying they have gone to acquire magical assistance, maybe?
Yeah, he gestures. There's plenty of magic to be found around here. They're different disciplines, though, aren't they?
I'm very familiar with the specifics of wizardry in the city. Just wondering if there's a particular.
And he shrugs. He says, if I knew any more, I'd be on the team. But I'm not, so if you'll excuse me, I have to return to my research.
Okay. I think I just let him go. There's not.
Yeah, and he sees the concerned look on your face, and he rolls his eyes, and he says, like, darling, there's no need to be so dramatic. We're not vivisectionists. You'll get your toys back in fine shape. Just be patient.
They're not a toy. And then I sort of leave it, I think, at that.
Mm-hmm.
And my thought is that I could loop in some backstory stuff here,
Mm-hmm.
If that were amenable.
Sure.
Because there is a wizard in the city that I know,
Mm-hmm.
a very, very annoyed, powerful wizard of some description that I've yet to name,
Mm-hmm.
but is probably named Alistair, actually.
Perfect. Done.
And who might know anything about a very particular, delicate, magical project that is going on in the city, extraplanar.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go to his tower and
his manor or whatever.
I mean, you paid character points for him in creation, so he's a relationship. You don't have to roll circles.
Yeah, roll him up.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the thing about this wizard friend of yours is that on weekends he likes to dress up like a sailor and frequent the dock ward.
Shit.
He wanders around pretending to be a sailor named Jeremy. Unfortunately, he's been killed. So yeah, no, there's no problem. You can go to him if you're willing to.
I didn't know how free I was to make stuff up.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's where she would go, because it's like they've said it's secret and that it's very important and that they need cross profession experience.
Yeah.
And she really doesn't have another contact. And if people at the Temple of Gond are going to tell her, this is her best bet, other than Vajra Safar, who she doesn't want to bother with this particularly because it doesn't have anything to do with what we're supposed to be doing, other than 8 going missing, which shows her irresponsibility, not her responsibility.
Yeah.
She wants Vajra to like her.
So let's talk about the circumstances of your being let out of Alistair's employ. Yeah. So how was that parting? Like why do you not work for him anymore?
Basically the backstory details here, if I can just spew a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think I know some of it, so you just give me what would be relevant, because I just want to know how to characterize this person.
I said, Cole's notes.
Yeah.
But she tried to steal something, got turned into a familiar for 10 years as punishment. And then when she was untransformed, she asked to be his apprentice, and he said that she had no talent and never would have any talent.
Right.
And was like, nope, we're done with you. You've had your 10 years. Go away.
Right. Okay. So he sounds like a real asshole.
He's lawful evil for sure.
Okay. Perfect. Okay.
I mean, someone that turns someone into a bird for 10 years because they tried to steal something is not a good person.
No, not a good person.
I mean, so I'm thinking wizard in the Vancian,
oh yeah,
that style, the kind of I am greater than everyone around me because I'm a master of the arcane arts.
Well, and with a manor full of weird shit that you want to take.
Totally.
Kind of stuff,
Yeah, right. And he doesn't cast magic missile, he casts Alistair's magic missile.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So you want to go and see this? This
I suppose that is my best bet since we're sort of off book here.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I assume he lives in a tower of some kind.
Yeah, I imagine like a manor, like a large house that's maybe even larger on the inside.
Nice. Okay, so we get like a wide shot, establishing shot of this kind of ominous, this ominous manor estate with a big like tower built in. There's some other like smaller buildings. Probably there are birds like perched all over the like the wall and the ceiling, like more or on the roof, more than you would expect. Like a whole like murder of crows just like hanging around. And as Rin approaches on foot, they respond to your arrival with like mocking laughter, basically. Because they recognize you. Alistair's birds recognize you. And you walk up to the gate.
I imagine there's some kind of gate out front, and I sort of just stand outside the gate as if I'm expecting him to know that I'm there, or something is going to like show up, like recognizing me, sort of know the mechanisms of the house, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So you wait a moment outside, and just as you're about to be like
fuck it,
we go. Maybe you turn around, and then the gates like creak open in invitation.
Okay, and then I walk up to the like grand front door of this place.
Okay.
And knock a couple of times.
Okay. Yep. So you knock on the door, and the doors, I think the doors just swing open on their own. And
step inside.
Yeah, you walk into the parlor, which of course
this gives Rin the absolute shivers.
Yeah.
This place is very familiar, but also like not necessarily a nice place.
Yeah, totally.
That she enjoyed. You know?
Yeah. And so you walk in, and in the relatively dark interior, in the parlor, there are all these like enormous like oil paintings of Alistair of various ages, right? Like Alistair as a young wizard, and all the way up to like a recent one that you haven't seen. It's been
new one.
Completed. Yeah, he sat for it, and he looks like imperious. He's got like gray in his hair now, and his hair's like quite long. It's this big gray beard, and he's kind of like looking off like kind of angrily into the distance, and he's got these like storm cloud colored eyes, and he's holding his wizard staff, which he was like immeasurably proud of. It's like a black wooden staff topped with bone, and he's got this kind of imperious look in the painting. And you find yourself like staring at it when you hear his voice, and he would do this all the time, where he would just suddenly like appear.
One of those assholes.
Yeah, and he says to you, "It's new. Do you like it?"
And she like straightens up immediately, like the voice like sending that like primal like shudder through her.
Yeah.
Like, ooh. And she straightens up immediately and goes like, looks over her shoulder, turns around to like look at him.
Yeah.
And says, "It's captures your essence very well."
And he waits for the honorific at the end, right? Like sir or master or whatever.
There is that ... And then she goes, "Master."
And he grins, and we can see him now as we turn. When you see him, we get to. He has long black and maroon robes. He has several rings on both hands. As I said before, like a big gray beard. It was black when you last saw him. And same with his hair; it's starting to go gray. And he has a collar on his robes that's made up of black feathers. He has this sort of like feathered like collar, and
it's got kind of a motif going.
Yeah, and he looks at you, and yeah, he's smiling, and he says, "I had wondered when you would return to us."
I think there's this funny like sort of juxtaposition where when you look at his attire and then her attire, hers is like a cheaper, not quite their version of what he's doing.
Yeah. And I think he's really tall too. Like he's not like like small in the way that you might imagine like a wizard who doesn't do much physical stuff. Like he's quite broad at the shoulder and quite tall. And he steps forward and he reaches out with his, because he's got his staff in one hand. He reaches out with his other hand, and he takes your face with his other hand. Right, he does that thing where he like grabs your chin and kind of turns your head back and forth, and he says, "Let's take a look at you." And he kind of like gives you a, like examines you and gives you a look and like, let's go.
She stands there and lets it happen. It is like, nope, not worth it. Not worth it. He can touch me. That's fine.
Yeah, totally. And he's doing it because he knows you don't like it, right? Like it's to establish that he's in charge. And he takes his hand back and he looks at you, and he kind of like, there's a little bit of like a disproving like sneer when he looks at your outfit. And he says, well, they say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. How have you been?
With all respect, Master, you don't care how I've been. And if you wanted to know, you would have found out before, I'm sure. I'm actually here to ask you something. If that would be all right.
And what could it be that brings little Rin back to the roost?
The roost, yeah. I have a friend who is working with the Temple of Gond currently. They're very excited about some project, and I think that project may have to do with my friend 8, mechanical man or creature from somewhere very different. And they were saying they don't know where they are at the moment, where the priestess has taken them. But they did mention cross-disciplinary consultation on this secret project. And I thought of you, of course, when it comes to powerful magic and the sorts of things that other people might not know and that they might want to be consulted on, of course, that you might have been involved somewhere in the way.
Yes, one of those grease-smelling priests came to my tower yesterday, asking me questions about the planes. But I sent them away. As you know, my expertise is in transmutation, after all.
There's like a nervous smile. Like, yeah, I know. Like, I could get in trouble just for being here is like her thought. Like, let's not go back. And she asks, you don't know where they've gone, do you? Where they would be doing these tests? You don't have any way of finding out.
It could be that I do, but if I tell you, then what? You'll simply fly the coop again. And it's been so nice seeing you. You know, there's a space in the rookery for you. The flock couldn't fill it. It just wasn't in their hearts. You could forget about this errand of yours and come home.
Well, and it's like, it's sort of like she doesn't want to offend his like offer, even though it's like clearly a taunting offer.
Yeah, totally.
Know? But like,
well, because what he wants is for you to admit that he's not, like, that he won, that you're like, my life was best when I was your familiar, let me come home.
And I think there is like that is in her to some extent. Like, it was easier and simpler and everything went well after I adjusted, sort of thing. And there's a little bit of like, I can't. Very generous offer, but no, I can't.
Your siblings will be so disappointed.
Siblings, well, I don't know about that, but
we've made some very interesting additions since you left. If I'm to be honest with myself, I think I've just been trying to replicate my success with you.
And she like doesn't want to ask.
Yeah, he gives you a look like, ask, I dare you.
And she says, you don't want me to go again. Is that what you're saying? You threw me out.
Only because I wanted you to learn that out there was nothing quite so good as what you had in here. And you've come back, just as I knew you would.
I've come back for your assistance, Master, and I think I deserve maybe some help. I served you faithfully when I was here. 10 years. Does that mean nothing?
It means you served your purpose, saw through your punishment. And so, yes, you are free now. But no, I don't think I owe you anything. But you and your friends are troublesome, and that it would amuse me to see that trouble turned towards my enemies. And so, yes, I think I will tell you what you want to know. If only because I know that if you leave this place and you go pursuing your own goals, you're only going to foul them up.
I think there is a visible like sigh of relief that she doesn't have to negotiate.
Yeah.
She was getting ready to be like, okay, what do you need me to do? What do I have to do to get the information?
And like, does some part of you like feel like it's too easy though? Like, cause he's about to just give you what you want, right?
This is a trap. Yeah.
Yeah. So he says, you know, I think the Gonsmen found the help they were looking for at the Blackstaff's tower. I'd go looking there if I were after a missing friend.
Go and speak to the Blackstaff? Well, all right.
Yes. Vajra Safar has plans within plans, my dear. I'd rethink your admiration of her.
I know of other powerful wizards, she says, like referencing him, basically, that have had plans within plans, and that I much admired in my time. But thank you for your help. I'll be going now.
And he gestures, and the door opens, and he says, "It was ever so pleasant to see you again. Don't be a stranger."
And there's like that really polite sort of like, yes, I'll stop by some other time in less desperate circumstance. And like, it is polite, but probably not true.
Yeah, like, I gotta get out of here.
I gotta go.
Okay. And so you leave?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So on your way out, and this is sort of the closing shot before we go to break. So you leave, and we stay with him, and he makes he whistles and puts his hand out, and a big black bird lands on his wrist, and the two of them like talk, and he like, 'cause he's whistling to this bird, and we recognize it. It's the raven that lives in your house.
That lives in the house?
Yeah.
Oh no.
And he feeds it, so he takes a little treat out of his cloak and he gives it to him, and then the bird flies off after you.
Okay.
And then we fade to break.
This is what I meant when I said he's probably knows how I'm doing anyway.
Yep. So there you go. All right, so we'll take our last break, and we will come back and we'll conclude today's episode of Waterdeep Dragon Heist right after this. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.